I will welcome you again. Welcome to Techbiz. This is Techbiz Transformation Series, and it's brought to you by Eco Innovation Center. You do know, for those who join us week in, week out, Techbiz is about your growth as an individual, as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, and of course, the growth of your business. My name is Doja Ikeruche. You know me, I anchor this program week in, week out. I'm a marketing strategist and I'm experienced in building brands, building businesses, and I've done this in multiple countries over the years. And for us at Techbiz and with my team in Eco Innovation Center, the whole focus is to build businesses that last. And that's why this series continues. That's why we believe it's extremely critical that we bring knowledge to you that help you grow your business and help you, of course, build a business that lasts and maintains over the longest of time. So 5 p.m. every Thursday, we discuss relevant, meaningful topics that are pertinent to your business. And what is important is that we would always bring experts within the field, within the topic that they are holding. Most importantly, people who have walked the journey. So they're able to actually share their experiences and share their stories and make it a lot more tangible to you. You know, someone was just talking about last week where we talked about storytelling. That was quite an inspiring session and helping us to create our own stories that help to gain customers and also build the support of our ecosystem. We've had various episodes in the past. It's covered business planning. It's covered even legal, where you talk about intellectual property, talk about data privacy. It's covered innovation, how you conceptualize those innovative ideas. It's even covered pitching, financing, how to source for finance and the rest. So in case you missed anyone, or you want to, of course, catch up on past episodes, go to ecoicenter.com. Sorry, ecoicenter.com/webinar. You can download the presentation. You can also download the videos as well. So guys, we're ready for today. Hashtag Techbiz, hashtag Eco Innovation. Please feel free to post your comments, post your feedback, your point of view, post it on social media. You can see all our social media handles on the screen, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, we're on all of them. We'll be happy to take the conversation forward from there. You do know, anyway, you're on mute. Karika will be speaking for about 25 to 30 minutes. Put your comments in the chat box. Put your questions there. You don't have to wait. We can continue the conversation in the chat box. And at the end, if you want to ask questions, we unmute you and you can ask your question verbally. So let's talk about networking. Networking. Karika Yonreme, she's going to be the one talking to us about networking. Karika, you are welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. Really, I really love the way you introduced yourself. And it's really about, for me, it was almost like an elevator pitch ever so quickly, about yourself. And networking is a buzzword. People talk about it. It's my network, it's my connection, it's my community, those kinds of things. But from my own perspective, networking is very simple, right? It's about making and maintaining relationships, as straightforward as that. But one part that is missing in that definition is mutually beneficial, right? So making sure that the relationship is mutually beneficial, it's a giving and it's a taking. But you are going to do justice to that topic anyway, to the topic of networking. So over to you, please guide us on how we build our network and how we maintain it and how we make sure that it is value added.
Thank you very much, Doja. Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here. Good evening, everyone. My name is Karika, and I'll introduce myself in a minute, but okay, so we can go to the next slide. Today, we'll be talking about building a powerful network of startups. And what you saw in the previous slide, we're talking about what networking is, how to build sustainable relationships, how to maximize your value proposition. These are some of the things we're talking about. Can we go to the next slide? So my name is Karika. Next slide, please. So brief introduction about me. My name is Karika on Instagram at karika.republic. I am a people and networking strategist. I I've worked I've worked in business development across different continents of the world, and I've leveraged my project management, leadership, business development to build brands for some oil and gas companies around the world. My passion for people empowerment led me to start Karika Republic. I saw that people were not leveraging networking. In business development, one of the key things to build businesses is people. And I saw how it was almost seamless for me to, build things, connect to people. And I realized that a lot of people struggled with that. So all of these experiences, I realized there's a gap in the market. People did not really understand the intricacies of networking. People were sabotaging on opportunities. And I decided to come in to fill the gap. And that's how Karika Republic started. In the last couple of years, I have educated over 4,000 entrepreneurs and professionals from over 12 plus countries in the areas of personal branding and networking. So I'm here to tell you that you're in fantastic hands. You're going to leave here with amazing nuggets, and best believe your life would not be the same after today, because you're going to experience a mindset shift in networking. Are we good? Are we ready?
We can't wait. Yes, yes, yes.
Let's go.
We're ready now. We're piped up. Go for it, girl.
Okay. So next slide, please. Next slide. Okay. So today, what are you going to learn? You're going to understand the mindset to successfully network. And why is this important? Dodger said networking is really about building and maintaining relationships. And that is the simple definition of networking. But as simple as it is, there's so many intricacies to it, right? So we're going to understand the mindset to successfully network. You're going to understand your value proposition. You're going to understand how to leverage your communities. These are some of the many lessons you'll get today. So next slide. Before we proceed, let's network. I mean, you're in a networking session.
Yes,
So in 30 seconds, I will tell everyone, reach out to somebody in the comment section, say hello to them, or also introduce yourself. We have more people now. Introduce yourself, what you do, or why you're here, and just reach out to somebody in the comment section. So we have 30 seconds to do that. Your time starts now. So introduce yourself, say hello to somebody. Like I said, you never know. Your next big client might be here. I saw a lot of questions about startup funding. Your next investor might be here. Really, really never know. So somebody might just be interested in what you have to offer. So say hello to somebody, reach out to somebody, introduce yourself. The world is a big marketplace. So say hello to somebody. Okay, fantastic. You have 15 more seconds. I can see Ezekiel, he's really connecting. Godwin is connecting. Dodger is connecting. Fantastic. Rabbi is connecting. Azuka Abraham. Fantastic. Fantastic. I love the energy. I love the energy. And this is it. This is what you get in communities. Hello, Yusuf. Oh, fantastic. A civil engineer. Interesting. Okay, good, 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 good. Okay, so keep it going. It's a networking session. Open your mouth. Say hi to somebody. Get acquainted with people. Networking is the future. Networking is a valuable currency. While I go on with the presentation. Okay, please move on to the next slide. So on to the big question. And again, something I need to say is that my sessions are very interactive, right? So in 10 seconds, what is networking? When you hear networking, what comes to your mind? Tell me, let me see in the comment section. What is networking to you? People have started networking now that they're not even
we can't stop, right? We're networking, we can't stop.
Okay, so in 10 seconds, when you hear networking, the word networking, what comes to your mind? Okay, people are still networking. Networking is connecting. Fantastic. I love that. I love that. Give me more, give me more, give me more. Networking is establishing, building mutually beneficial relationships. Fantastic. I saw one comment, but
networking is establishing fruitful contacts as your network is your net worth.
Fantastic. Connecting buyers and sellers. This person is a business person. He's like connecting buyers and sellers.
Has to turn to money.
Fantastic, fantastic. I really like definitions that everybody has given, right? Networking is, so I'm going to talk about networking in two parts. The first one is, so I'm going to talk about networking in two parts. The first one is networking, general networking. And Dodger's definition of networking is very, very apt. Networking is connecting and building relationships. And this is very important because it forms the core of your mind. When you understand that networking is not a place, networking is not an action, networking is a lifestyle. Everything you do in life is networking. So it's not until you have an event and you wear your suit and you carry your business card, that's not when you're networking. Every single thing in life is networking. So at the core of it, networking is relationship building. Did you get that? Networking is relationship building. You can network anywhere, from supermarket to social media to your children's school. The world is a big value hub. And when you begin to think of networking in that light, you begin to see opportunities. I mean, I have examples of, there's a time I met a lady on the plane, her slippers caught, and for some funny reason, I always had extra bedroom slippers in my bag. And I gave her the bedroom slippers, and, we just got talking and we exchanged numbers. After, when I got back to my hotel, I reached out to her. I'm like, oh, because she was a bit flustered when her slippers caught, she was a bit, it almost destabilized her. I was like, don't worry, take my slippers and all of that. And then when I got back to my hotel, I had a conversation with her. I called her to check on her. Long story short, we continued that conversation. 4 years after, she had a deal, a project management deal outside the country. And guess who she called? It was me. We had built trust, we had built credibility. We had moved from me being her sleeper savior to actual acquaintances. And it gave me one of the biggest breaks, on my financial journey. So my point is, you never know. Imagine if I was waiting for one big event to say, okay, now I'm ready to network. I met this lady on the plane, and the way we connected was through bedroom slippers that caught. So I want that, and that's why I said it's really important. Networking is a lifestyle. And the moment you have that, you realize that you can get opportunities anywhere. You meet people. I've met people from planes to restaurants to the market to Mr. There's a lady, she's launching something in on Saturday. She has a perfume factory in Nigeria, and she's launching it on Saturday. How did I meet her? I went to Chicken Republic. I was trying to buy chicken. They didn't have chicken. Because I like drumstick. They didn't have drumstick. And I was like, I have to wait. To even her, she was like that. Oh, she was waiting for them to bring drumstick. And that's how we started talking over drumstick. And we have gone on to do business together 2 years down the line. So, and that's why I need to emphasize that networking is a lifestyle. Did you get that? The second thing, and then that's the first definition. The second definition is networking is the exchange of value. Networking is the exchange of value. There's something Dodger said that was very interesting. She said mutually beneficial relationships. Networking is the exchange of value. And when you understand that, it makes things easier, from funding your business to getting investors to getting partners for your business to hiring your team to leveraging your community. Value is the foundation of everything. So did you get that? The two things, networking is a lifestyle, it's not a place, it's not an event. Every day you are networking, you're connecting with people. The second one is that networking is the exchange of value. Good to go? Fantastic. Please on to the next slide. So now we're going to talk about the mindset to successfully network. Why is this important? Why is mindset important? One of my favorite sayings in my life is that as a man thinketh, so is he. It starts from your mind. And I could come here and tell you 5 ways to network, 1, 2, 3, but I'm really about sustainability. I'm really about you taking it from the inside out, because when you do that, it's sustainable. You're able to network irrespective of the place, location, time, country, because the same principles apply across board. So the mindset, your mind is very important. Networking is 80% mental energy and 20% physical work. The intangibles control the tangibles in networking. For you to network well, for you to maximize.
Arika, say it again.
The intangibles control the tangibles in networking.
So networking is 80% what?
80% mental energy. Excellent. And 20% physical work. Let me tell you, imagine that you go into a place and first of all, you know that you carry some level of your frequency matters. So I step into a room. If I step into a room and I'm very timid and all of that, even if I have the best idea in the world, the person at the other end is going to second guess me just because of my courage.
Indeed.
But when you enter into a room, you know, with so much confidence, even if you're not very sure of what you're saying, you're like, for her confidence, maybe there's value in what she's saying. So your mind is very, very important in networking. And that takes me to understand. So how do you even build the mindset to network successfully? Techno, somebody. Okay, fantastic. Thank you, Doja.
Yes.
How do you even have the mindset to network successfully? Number one, you need to see yourself as valuable. And I'm starting from the roots. The reason why I'm doing this, if this is all that you get from here, is going to sustain you for the rest of your life. You need to see yourself as valuable. Why is this important? Networking is fruit. Your mindset is the root. If the root is solid, the fruit would, I mean, the branches will always bear fruit. So if you don't think that you're good enough, if you don't think that your idea is fantastic, if you don't think that you can change the world, if you don't think that you are enough, you would not network properly. You would always self-sabotage. You would never speak up. You would not be able to introduce yourself from a place of value. So it's extremely important that, you know, you see yourself from a place of value. You need to understand. I mean, everybody here, type it in the comment section. Tell yourself that you are the value. Bola Tito is the value. Oba is the value. Ima Keruch, sorry if I'm killing, if I'm, you know, catching your name, you're the value. You know, tell yourself that you're the value is extremely important. Remind yourself that you have something valuable to offer. Joseph is the value. You know, coffee is the value, because when that is deeply ingrained in you, you will be able to network. You'll be able to speak. You'll be able to, that confidence to say hello to somebody, that confidence to let them know that, you know what, I'm your next big thing would happen to you. So continue to remind yourself. When people see me, they're like, oh, Karika, you have so much energy. I saw this, I saw that. I'm like, because I understand I'm the value. I understand I'm the value. And when you understand you're the value, let me tell you, it's a seed. When you understand you're the value, it's a seed. You're able to create more value from yourself because you trust your ideas, you trust your process, you trust that that thing you're about to do, you know, is valuable. So it is the core of networking, the fact that you are the value, you have something to offer. It gives you the confidence to talk to people. It gives you the confidence to pitch your idea. It gives you the confidence to build your business, even when things are going wrong. Let me give you a story. I have the story of, there's a project I worked on. You can go on to the next slide. So I'm saying both of them together, understanding your value proposition. There's a project I worked on, you know, I failed in that project 6 times. I failed 6 times in 4 different countries. I'm someone who is, I would say that I'm extremely smart because I studied engineering and I worked as an engineer for a very long time. And I worked on this project in 4 different countries and it failed. Do you know what it means for you to invest a lot of money in a business? It fails one. It fails the second time. First time it failed in Nigeria. I went to Dubai, it failed. I went to Cote d'Ivoire, it failed. I went to America, it failed. I came back to Nigeria, it failed. But do you know what? Until he eventually succeeded. But do you know, I mean, my cousin was telling me that, Karika, I don't understand how you fail at something 6 times. Do you know the kind of energy it takes to fall and then to stand again? Is that understanding that you're the value? The project failed. Karika did not fail. They are 2 different things. I might have failed at the project, but it doesn't make me a failure. And that's why you need to deeply, deeply understand your value proposition, right? This benefits of you understanding your value proposition. Number one, it would help you control how external factors influence your inner sense of value. I see so many people waiting for validation, or people will say, this idea, do you think is good? Do you think it's good? And they're waiting for someone to validate this. I'm like, why are you waiting for someone to validate your idea? Guess what? Somebody else is already implementing it. And by the time they are done, you say, hey, this idea was my own, but you didn't implement it. So it's extremely important, you know, for you to understand you're the value. How do you do this? We can move on to the next slide. How do you do this? Appreciate yourself. Every day, take out time to appreciate yourself. Take out time to we don't give ourselves enough credit for what we have done. We don't give ourselves enough credit for the work we have, for the process we've gone through. You're always looking at the big things that you forget to appreciate the small things about yourself. And you need to understand that the little things add up. The little things are the real big things in networking, right? So this is my assignment to everybody. Encourage yourself, take time to really appreciate yourself. Understand your gap areas, and then ask yourself, how do I mitigate it? How do I bridge those areas, right? Food for thought. I want you to understand that networking, people are attracted to value. And that's why you need to, let me tell you one thing. I'm looking at the time because I really want to keep 20 minutes. Let me tell you one thing.
Don't rush, don't rush.
If you do not appreciate yourself, guess what? The world will rarely appreciate you. People call you what you call yourself. People call you, how you take a thing is how people will take it. So if you come and you are, belittling yourself, the whole world will belittle you. And in networking, people are attracted to value. Value is the currency. The world is asking themselves, what can she do for me? What can Bola Tito do for me? What can Muhammad do for me? So you're not doing yourself a favor when you show up less than who you are. So can you see how this value thing affects everything you do? It affects the kind of opportunities you attract. It affects the kind of opportunities that people refer you for. So it's extremely important. Again, food for thought. I was saying that having a huge network is great. However, having a network that really works for you is greater. And when you understand that you're the value, it makes you control who is in your network. I see a lot of people, they go for events, they're sharing their business card everywhere. Why are you doing that? What you're doing is, okay, you're giving people business cards, but you're not talking to them. You're not establishing a connection. How do they remember you? How do you follow up after that? So I also want you to understand that having a huge network is great. However, having a network that really works for you is greater, So you need to be very intentional. Another assignment, audit your network. Look at your life right now. Ask yourself, people in my life, what role do they play? Oh, Bola Tito plays a business role. Fantastic. Taiwo plays a support role. Okay. Yusuf plays a friendship role. Good. You need to be intentional about your network. You need to be intentional about your time, because that's how you also, in the business of networking, and I'm moving to business of networking now. In business of networking, your gap areas. Okay, I have friends in different sectors. I don't have a friend in this sector. Maybe I should be intentional about finding somebody in this sector. And this is from the business point of view, right? So you need to be very intentional. So think about your network, think about being in your life, and think about what role they play. Okay, good. Next slide, please.
Please go ahead, actually, because I don't know whether the slide is stuck.
Okay.
Okay, thanks, Tito.
So, how do you develop your network? That's the first question. Hey, everybody's a character networking. Okay, good. How do you develop your network? The first one is you need to understand your value, because it starts with you, right? The second one is be yourself. The best way to network is to leverage your natural strengths. For instance, I'm someone who, I barely talk. I write for the night, even though people don't believe me. Because when I talk, I actually talk, but I am more of a writer than a talker, right? And that's why for me, I maximize online networking. I can connect people online easily because I like to think of myself as I won't say I'm an introvert, but I would say that I am
ambivert. So you have the times when you are extro, and you have the times when you're intro.
Absolutely. So the number one way to network is be yourself. You have a lot of power in yourself. When you're yourself, you're in your natural state, that's where you can really think, you can come up with ideas, you can really be true to yourself. Because when you network, let me tell you, the person you're trying to network with is also worried that, am I enough? So when you come across as not being authentic, it rubs off negatively on people. So again, be yourself. Ask yourself, and another assignment for you, ask yourself, what makes me tick? What are the things I like? What are the things, what do I enjoy doing? Right? And leverage that when you're networking. So for example, now, when I'm networking, one of the things I talk about, I like traveling. So a lot of times I can connect with people when, we're talking about travel, we're talking about culture, all of those things, right? Those are like it's very easy for me to talk about those things, right? And I like talking about people. I like people. I leverage it when I'm networking. So ask yourself, what are those things that excite me? What do I like to talk about? What topics do I like to talk about? Right? So that's number one. Number two, get ready to research. Networking is very intentional. It's not going to fall on your lap like, oh, because people find it easy to make friends. Oh, you meet somebody today, but how do you keep it going? You need to research. You need to learn new things. You need to learn how to ask questions. You need to learn how to ask the right questions. You need to learn how to ask follow-up questions, because that's how you get opportunities. You can move to the next slide. That's how you get opportunities. That's how you're able to get opportunities, right? So research. The third thing, there's so many ways, but because of time, I'll give you just three. The third thing is keep your integrity. The game of networking is a game of trust, is a game of reputation. Integrity is your biggest asset in networking. When people say this person connected to this person is, Georgia and I were talking about it yesterday, how one of the best ways to build your network is to build on your existing network. So for example, now, imagine Georgia introducing me to her friend. If I met her friend by myself, I would have had to start from the hello, my name is Karika, what do you do, what don't you do, all of those things, right? But if Georgia is introducing me to this person, she has bridged that gap.
Definitely.
She's done the foundation work. She's done foundational work. So again, keep your integrity. Trust is an asset in networking, right? And so those are the top three things. Be yourself, research, and integrity. There are so many ways, but because of our time, and I want us to go through this whole thing. So the next thing is, how do you build your network strategically? There are two ways. I mean, thanks to Corona, online networking has become very important now. So there are two ways, then I'll give one advice. So physically, right? I would say quality over quantity. Look for ways to volunteer. What are your interests? If you like football, why are you not in a football club? You don't have to play football. Maybe you can be their financial person. I mean, my point is, look for things that interest you and try to join communities. Why are you not joining the Eco Innovation Center Techbiz Nation, right? Why are you not
we're launching today?
See, when they launch it today, you need to be very active in it. You need to reach out to people, say hello to people. That's how you build networks. That's how you connect. People know you for something, because remember, networking is the exchange of value. People need to understand that you have the value, and people need to understand your value proposition. That's how you're able to effectively network, right? That's for physical. There's so many ways, but that's one of the top ways. The second one is online networking. Social media is gold. I'm like, why are you not building your personal brand? And this is where personal branding comes into play, because your personal brand helps you. There's no limit to how far your personal brand can go. For example, there's somebody that I met her on somebody's Insta story. I liked, because I liked her dress actually. I was like, oh, nice dress. And I looked at what she was, and I realized that she was also in engineering, right? I remember I said that I worked as an engineer for a long time. So I just started reading all the things she had done, and then I followed her. And next she followed me back, and we started talking, and because she's from East Africa, she's a leader in the energy space there. And we started talking. I was like, it's so interesting how, I just met you like 5 minutes ago, and we're already talking. She's like, yeah, I went through your page. I like what you stand for. And, I feel like I already connect with you. So in the world that we live in today, your personal brand is key. It helps you to network easily. If I see, if I go to Doja's social media and all of that, and I look, oh, I like what she stands for, it already makes me feel like I know her. It already makes me feel like, oh, I can trust her. So online networking is the next big thing, and building your personal brand is very important, right? It's a great way to network. It's a great way to build credibility. It's a great way to position yourself as a thought leader. It's a great way to monetize your knowledge, right? So many things. The third one is, and this is building your network with leaders and all of that. I would say 3 ways to also build your network. When you're trying to network, ask for advice, ask for insights, or give recommendations. Ask for advice. When you ask people for advice, you make them feel like they're very important. You know, oh wow, Doja, what do you think about my hair? And what do I think about your hair? And then she gives me, I'm like, oh, thank you so much. You know, I really like it. You make her feel, networking is human connection. You make her feel like, oh wow, she just helped me, right? That's one way. Other way is insight, you know, ask for insight or deliver insight. And then the third way is recommendation. Please on to the next slide. Are we together? Networking is very, it's a lot, but okay. So building your social capital, all of the things we have said, you know, think of networking as a bank account. Your bank account of networking. And that's what social capital is. For everything you do, remember networking is the exchange of value. You imagine that you're always taking value. Your bank account is going to be empty. So maybe in Doja's life now, you know, I give, she gives, we give and take. We're both boosting our bank accounts of social capital. The day she needs something, oh, I'm like, okay, come and make a withdrawal from your bank account with me, and she does that. But if you're always taking without giving, your bank account is going to be empty. And that's what social capital is. How are you supporting people? How are you adding value to people? You know, are you making deposits of value in the lives of people? Because there will be a day that you need it. And and that's the day you would know if you made deposits in the lives of people or not. Because your social capital is like a bank account. You keep building, you keep adding value. The day you need it, you gotta make a withdrawal. And that's what your social capital is. So it's extremely important that you give value. And value can be anything. Value doesn't have to be money. Value can be support. Value can be that you show up on time. Value can be, you know, you're saying a kind word to somebody, you're complimenting them, right? Again, as a man thinketh, so is he. When you understand that you're the value, it's easy for you to give value to people. Next slide, please. But yeah, that's a very valid question. Are you making deposits in the life of people, or are you withdrawing? Is your just ATM card? Swipe, collect. Always collecting, not giving, right? And this brings me to, I'm wrapping up now, personal branding, networking, and communities. I call it the holy trinity of people strategy. You need to be your personal brand, offline and online, because it opens doors for you. Your personal brand, if they tell you that Mark Zuckerberg is coming to Nigeria, you'll be excited. You know, you want to talk to him, you want to connect to him. Why? Because he has proven to be a tech visionary. He's a market leader. So you want to talk to him. Because of his personal brand, Mark Zuckerberg can literally talk to anybody in the world. So networking is not going to be hard for him because he has built his personal brand. He has shown that to a large extent he can, he's reliable, and that he has built something that is sustainable over time. So if he wants to talk to anybody, any president, any governor, anybody about his value proposition, the doors will open for him because his personal brand is solid. So can you see how all these things interconnect? Personal branding helps you in networking. Networking helps you in personal branding too. They all help each other, right? And then we're now moving on to communities. When you build your personal brand, it helps you to expand your network. You get, a very good network. You're able to add value to people. And when you have so many people in your lives that, are adding value to you, you have a community of value adding people, right? That's one way to look at it. The second way to look at it is when you join a community of people, your personal brand and your networks, they work for you. They add value to you. They make you, well, instead of people going out to the public to give jobs out, they're like, but Ezekiel can do it now. And that's how you get all those jobs. So you need to build your personal brand. It helps you to network well. And when you network well, when you build your network, when you increase your network is your network, right? Also, your personal brand helps you in leveraging opportunities within your community. If you have a very strong personal brand, everybody wants in their community because of what you have to offer, because of the perceived value. So in wrapping up, I would say 3 things. Understand that you are the value. understand that networking is the exchange of value, understand that networking is not a place, it's a lifestyle, right? And action plans for you. I would say that, I asked that question. I told you that think of yourself, think of the things that interest you, think of the things that you like to do. How can you implement them? How can you infuse them in when you talk to people, when you meet people? The second thing is appreciate yourself. Go back home, remind yourself that you are the value. Remind yourself of all the things you have been through. Learn to give credit to yourself for the little things, the big things, the small things. They all add up. They always add up. And at the end of the day, never ever forget that you are the value. It's the most important thing in networking. Whether you're networking for business, for tech, for relationship, for friendship, it is the most important thing that you are the value. Thank you.
Fantastic. Awesome, Karika. The passion alone, in fact, it's it's so infectious. Thank you so much. You've made it so tangible, you've made it so real, right? We have a lot of questions already in the chat, right? Anyone who wants to ask, please raise your hand and we ask the question. But there's just so many nuggets that we can immediately take. Like when you said those three things, get ready to research, you have to research, because that's a task that we have to do on our own. Research the person you want to be involved in or you want to include in your network. Research the topics that person is interested in so that you can ask the right questions. Absolutely. And if you ask the right questions, you also want to be able to, you listen properly so you can also ask follow-up questions. That's what you said. Then you talked about integrity, extremely critical. And sometimes, you think that one person cannot add value to you, so you don't really take, you don't really pay attention to the person. Like you're not paying attention to the person at the checkout counter, and you just never know. Maybe just that person who really helps you within your network. But there was one question initially when we were having this discussion, and it was, how do you manage consistent rejections? So I'm trying to get these people or person within my network, and there's a consistent turn down. How do you manage that?
Fantastic question. It's a fantastic question. There's something I was going to talk about, but like, we don't have the time. So I would answer that question in 3 ways. Number one, you have the value, right? I tell people that rejection is going to happen in networking. Not everybody. First of all, you need to also understand that the world that we live in is very superficial. So people are really about, what car is she driving? Oh, does she have the latest Brazilian hair? There are people that literally judge you from the very first, from your outlook. They don't really care about how much is in your bank account. They look at it as, they look at you from, your outlook. But I mean, I don't even think you really want those people in your network because it shows that they're very superficial. So number one, rejection will always happen. The first way to deal with it is understanding that you are the value. Because when you understand, like, you know what, you're able to say, maybe this isn't for me at this time, right? Number two is understanding that in networking, there are times and seasons. There are times and seasons. Case in point, there was somebody I met about 5 years ago. I really, really wanted to be in her network, but then my instincts were like, no, Karika, don't just let it be, right? And I just let it be. And fast forward to 3 years down the line, I had, my personal brand had increased and all of that. I met the same person at a conference and I asked the question at the conference. And this same person, she's a leader in Africa. She buzzed me. She's like, oh, I like how you talk. There's so much power in your voice. Oh, you know what? Give me your number. Can you see that whole thing of value, times and seasons? Because sometimes you cannot, if I had met her, if I had tried to really, be in her face in that season, because right now, me and her, we've gone on to do big things. She's introduced me to so many leaders in Africa. If she had met me 2 years ago, I don't really think that would have done all of the things we have done now. Because human beings, people see you, and remember I said that how you carry yourself is how people see you. It is difficult, I mean, we're Nigerians here. I mean, if you're from anywhere in the world, in Nigeria, we have something called see finish. We have something called, it's difficult have you noticed that your friends that you've had for a very long time, it's difficult for them to see you in your new light versus outsiders, like people that do not know you. People that do not know you say, oh my God, Sochima is the best thing that's happened to us in the world. But your friend is like, it's not Sochima that when she was sick, she was throwing up everywhere. It was me that cleaned her vomit. That's how they still see you. You know, they literally put you in that box. So it's very difficult sometimes, you know. So I would say, number one, understand that you're the value. Not everybody is meant for you at the same time. And I would say that when you try to reach out to somebody and they reject you, I would say that, you know what, go back to your drawing board and work on yourself. Value can never, never be ignored. It might take a while, it might take some, but they would always, at the end of the day, see, work on yourself. I promise you that you'll find that most times in 2 years' time, in 3 years' time, those people that rejected you will be the same people looking for you. So don't take it personally. You know, understand that you have the value. Understand that, you know, you might not be where you might not be where you want to be, and they might not see the value in you right now. It's okay. It doesn't change who you are. Go back, work on yourself, and keep increasing your value. Also understand that there are times and seasons. Not everything is meant for you. There's some opportunities that I wanted 2 years ago. I was really hustling for, you know, and I just let it be. And 2 years down the line, I have gotten it and more. And I'm just like, oh my goodness, if I had gotten this 2 years ago, it wouldn't have been as amazing as it is right now. So I would say that also trust your instincts. Everything doesn't have to happen, you know, at the same time. And again, work your rejection muscle. Rejection is going to happen. You need to, for you to get, nothing good comes easy. You know, you need to, it takes a process. So you need to learn how to, you know, get used to receiving no's. For every no, okay, you go back to drawing board and keep getting better. That's what I would say. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you so much. I'm going to have to give quite a number of people. Oops. Oh, no. Timileyin, sorry, I mistakenly lowered your hand. Could you please raise your hand again? My sincere apologies. It was, okay, I found you. There we go. Please accept my request to unmute and then please ask your question.
Hello, Timileyin.
Good evening, ma.
Good evening, Timileyin.
I don't know if you can hear me clearly.
Yes, we can.
Okay, ma. There have been several times I've tried to network with some group of people, but actually, like you say that you have to, you know, there's time for everything. But when you try like doing it, they feel like, what do you need them for? Why do you want to associate with them? I don't know if you get the point. So sometimes let me say personally, I feel rejected, and I feel like, is it possible for me to do it all by myself? So the question is, ma'am, the networking is compulsory, but when you feel rejected, how do you go about it?
Okay, thank you, Timileyin, and thank you for, you know, the context you've given. I also want you, so this is it, as much as you want to network, understand that people that you want to network with also want to network with people. So it's like, Dodger wants to network with me, and, you know, I'm like, okay, why should I network with Dodger? Or I want to network with Dodger. Dodger is like, why should I network with Karika? Human beings are very selfish. Human beings will do what works best for them, you know. And I mean, somebody might just feel like at this point in time, Timlen is not who they think would work for them, and it's okay because they also have their own interests. They have things that they also want to get. The same way you think, and that's why I said that value is the biggest thing, because value cannot be ignored. Like for me, I know that there are things I have to offer that you cannot really reject me. You know, you cannot really, because, and that's why, but it didn't happen immediately. It took years, it took time, it took process, it took plenty rejections, you know. So I would say that sometimes we think that this is the people that can help us, but you know, it might not just be them, it might be somebody else. So I would say that when you get rejected by people, it's okay. You can't force a relationship. When you force relationships, you would always be at the receiving end. You know, if you really try to force your way into, you would never get the full value. So if you get rejected by a set of people, look for other people. There are over 7 billion people in this world. And, you know, there are people that can give you the value that, you know, you're looking for. So I think that sometimes we are so fixated on a particular set of people or a particular door that even when it closes, we're still standing in front of the closed door. The hallway is big enough. There's so many open doors. So I would say that take rejection in good strides, like I said, and that's why I said you need to understand that you are the value. The fact that you're rejected does not mean that Timline is not the value. No, you're the value. But maybe you should look for other people. You need people, but there are so many other people. It doesn't have to be the set of people that you're looking at. That's what I would say.
Karika, let me share with you a story that I heard. I listened to it on a certain podcast. So this gentleman wanted a certain person in his network, extremely popular person. He had written many books. But of course, he just couldn't find how could he be in that person's network. You know, almost like you want to today be in Mark Zuckerberg's network, the kind that he knows you by first name. So this guy then goes to look for the individual's books, right? And then read some of the books. Then as an outcome of that book, he took some actions, basis the recommendations from those books. Then he wrote to the individual and said, I read this book of yours. And because of that, I did XYZ. And XYZ worked for me. It translated to value for me, right? I would like to meet you in person, or I would like to connect with you to be able to tell you more about this. So it's exactly what you say. One, you talked about research. The other one, you talked about exchange of value, because the man who wrote those books, he is also looking for validation to demonstrate that his teaching works. And that individual was a validation. So it is now, if you are determined to have Karika in your network, right? And maybe Karika has rejected you, because she has not seen what value you want to bring. Go ahead and research her and check the things that Karika has an interest in. How can I add value to Karika? There must be a way that I can. And it is that I'm going to bring to the fore to that person. And chances are that you will get a yes by the time that happens. Okay, we have many, many questions, Karika. So someone is talking about maintaining networks. So we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we have so many contacts on the phone. So the network is really broad. There's so many people. How do you maintain your network in that context?
That's it. First of all, Doja, thank you for that analogy. It is amazing. It's really fantastic. How do you maintain your networks? I said that be intentional about auditing your networks. So me, I audit my networks. I sort of have an understanding of who is in my life. So I can't teach about it. In my master classes, I talk about the layers of networking. In the layers of networking, you have your inner core, you have your outer circle, and then you have your outermost circle. So in networking, you need to sort of categorize people in those boxes. And why is that also important? So that I see a lot of people saying this person rejected me. And I'm just like, this person is in your outer network. Why are you expecting them to do things that people in your inner network would do? Your inner network are like your friends, your paddies, your people that you tell your secrets and the story of your lives to. Your outer networks, they're just there for business. Your outer network is more of strategic opportunities. So a lot of times, because people do not clearly demarcate who is who and who is where, they are expecting somebody, like I see people that say, Karika, you didn't come for my birthday. And I'm just like, I'm not going to come for your birthday. I would wish you happy birthday on Instagram, but I'm not going to come for your birthday because time is money to me. And I don't really think that we are, the way I'll go out for my sister or somebody in my innermost circle might not be the same way I'll go out for somebody that I've met once or twice. I'm a kind person, so I would definitely help people, but the extent to which I'll do that, would be different. So first of all, categorize people into those boxes, right? And you need to keep auditing, because sometimes someone that might be in your inner circle today, human beings are forever evolving and they change and they show you themselves. Tomorrow they can be, they can end up in your outer circle. So I would say for you to manage everything, audit your network, right? 1, 2, times and seasons. You can't talk to everybody every time at the same time. You would almost die, because you are human. You have finite energy. You have to still work. You still have to make money. If you don't make money, if you don't advise yourself, no one will talk with you. So you need to do all of those things. So I would say strategies that I use. Independence Day is coming. Everybody on my Instagram or everybody on my they'll get happy independence. I would send messages to people. Christmas, I would send whatever. I do birthday notifications. At least I will talk to you at least once a year. By the time I talk to you, Christmas, New Year, Valentine's Day, Nigerian independence, at least that's 7 times in a year now, we would have conversations, right? So I would say that one way to do that is, put reminders on their birthdays. put reminders on, bank holidays and holidays you have. It's a great way to, everybody's in that spirit of celebration, and it's not awkward, because if you just go somewhere and say hello and they're like, okay, why is she reaching out to me? So I would say that's one way to do it. Another level is leverage social media. Like a lot of times when I'm looking at people's Instagram,
Hold the thoughts, please, because this question is connected to what you're about to say. So this person is asking, how can I be consistent in the area of personal branding? Because for her, Precious is asking, she says, because for her, it's always difficult to be consistent. So please merge that with what you're about to see on social media.
Okay, fantastic. So because on social media, so let me just finish that question. On social media, what I also do is that I come online at least 1 hour a day. I look at people's posts, and I'm responding, I'm engaging with their comments. People see. They might not say anything to you, but they actually do see. I respond to people's Insta story. It might just be ha 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 laughter, and they'll say, Karika, this was funny. I'm like, yes, it was very funny. 30 seconds, but guess what? I have connected with them. It doesn't have to be anything long or anything major. There's some people that maybe they sit, like there's someone that posted something yesterday about friendships, and it just made me reflect. And I was like, oh, it made me think about my family, made me think about my friends. And I went on telling my friends how much I appreciated them. I might not have done that yesterday, but her post spurred me to do it. So I would say on social media, engage with people. It's a great way to keep in touch. It's a great way. When people say you engage with their comments, it's social capital. You are making deposits, because people like validation. For every like you like, it shows them that, okay, what I said is solid. So they like it, right? That's one. So about the question on personal branding and consistency. Consistency is one of the things I say is that how you do one thing is how you do everything. Forget personal branding. Ask yourself, how can you be consistent in your own life? Because the consistency that I have in everything I do is not that I'm not going to say, oh, now I have to be consistent in personal branding. No, I'm a very consistent person. In cooking, I'm consistent. In taking pictures, I'm consistent. In eating, I'm consistent. In traveling. So I would say, instead of you focusing on consistency in personal branding, focus on building consistency as a value for yourself. Because when you're able to do that, you are able to build your personal brand. That's one way. Another way is set goals. So if you say, oh, you want to consistency in your personal brand, have a goal that, or maybe by the end of the month, I want to have posted 6 times this month, right? It helps you, because when you set goals, it gives you something to work towards, right? And it forces you to act. So by the time you do it, you do it month 1, month 2, month 3, month 4. After a while, you're working that muscle. After a while, it becomes a part of you. And that's how consistency is built, okay? So 2 things: build consistency as a human being, in different areas of your life. And then another way to do it is to set goals for yourself. It helps you to work that muscle, to achieve what you want to achieve.
Karika, I'm going to ask you the last question, because today we are announcing our new network. It's perfect, this topic that you have raised now. Someone is asking about introverts, right? How does an introvert overcome the urge to not talk to people? This is obviously from personal experience. Okay, Becky also wanted to ask a question. I did unmute her, but maybe you take this quickly. We'll unmute Becky, and then we go quickly to announce the new network.
Somebody is asking for layers of networking. Come for my master class.
There we go. Give the link, please. What's the link?
Okay, I will send the link.
Okay, just put it in the chat box, please. Thank you.
Becky, please ask your question.
Okay, thank you so much. I've really learned so much in this session. I have 2 questions, right? The first one is, as a mom, I have 2 kids, and it's almost difficult for me to network. I've tried to get help. Not that I'm a bad person, but they keep coming up with one thing or the other. It's like they always have their own agenda. And the last one that came said she wants to go and learn tailoring. And so this leads me to, do everything in the house. At the end of the day, I'm tired. I hardly sleep at night. So how do I manage to still network with all of this stress and work I have to do? Number 2, I have this very wonderful woman. She has become so close that I'm scared of spoiling the relationship. Let me use that word. She's somebody, she's not my, she's way older than me, and she's really helped me in so many ways. She has connected me to people, but she's getting too close, telling me things I'm not supposed to know, you know, and I don't know how to manage this relationship. So please, I would like you to kindly throw light on managing this particular network that you value so much, that has lasted over a long period of time, that you do not want to scatter or spoil. Let me use that word. So those are my 2 questions. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Becky. And for the first one, about, you know, I mean, a busy mom and all of that, you have to be hands-on. I would say that it takes me back to my first comment. Networking is a lifestyle. Network from your place of comfort. You know, it doesn't have to be, it could be one person a month. I'm telling you, like, and that's why I said there are no rules to these things. You define what you want. There are sometimes in this when Corona first started, I didn't want to network with anybody. I was just in my house. I just wanted to be networking myself alone, you know, and I'm the networking guru, you know. So there are no rules to these things, right? You define. I think that a lot of times we put ourselves under pressure. We are like, everybody's networking, now to network. No, you define what you want, right? So enjoy your motherhood, enjoy this season, because your kids will grow up and you would want that season. So I would say that don't put yourself under any pressure. Whenever you have the time, you know, you can say 30 minutes a day, you would connect people on social media. It doesn't have to be physical. You connect people on social media, you will like people's posts. I'm telling you that me, I have gotten deals of millions because I was liking people's posts. I am telling you, I told that Karika, you've been constantly liking my post for 1 year. I've been watching you, and I'm like, okay, interesting. So I would tell you, yes, I'm telling you. So engage on social media. Social media you don't really have to do so much. You can sit down before you sleep, 10 minutes, you like people, you engage, oh, I like your hair, or what you posted was good, all of those things, right? That's a great way to network. For the lady, the older lady, it's very dicey, because again, I would say that I'm very big on drawing boundaries. I'm very big on drawing boundaries. And then you also need to ask yourself, why is she telling you the things she's telling you? I don't know what she's telling you, but why is she telling you the things she's telling you? Is it also her own way of, you know, she doesn't have anybody to talk to and she feels like you're a safe haven for her? I mean, she has connected you to people. And as I said that, value doesn't have to be money or whatever. Value can be support. Maybe for her, you're just a safe haven. Maybe for her, she feels like when she talks to you, she feels better. Maybe she's going through stuff in her own life that, and that when she talks to you, she feels some kind of, you know, she feels safe. What I would say is have that discussion. It can be 2 ways. Me, I'm someone that I face things head on. My personality, I don't have time to beat around the bush, you know. I would just be like, oh, you know, I'm a bit concerned. I would tell you as it is, right? Another way you can do it is understand the pattern. I know some people that there's a particular type of the month. That's when they call me to unleash all the things on their mind. And if I don't want to, you know, if I feel like it would make them unhappy, I'll just be unavailable. You know, I'm protecting you, I'm protecting me. It's a strategic way to do it. And what your question requires a lot of wisdom. So I think you should ask yourself, what the things she tells you, is it affecting you negatively? Is it something that could put you in trouble? Because that's another thing. Is it something that could put you in trouble? Or next now, something will happen and they'll say you're an accomplice. You know, that's one way. Or ask yourself, well, is it something that you feel like she just sees you as a safe haven for her? You know, and then maybe you could just tell her that, oh, you know what? That the way your personality is, when she tells you, you know, it makes your heart so heavy, and because of that, even you say that you're not sleeping properly, so you want to minimize so that she can sleep and you can sleep. Find a way around it, you know. Find a way to communicate it with her, you know, depending on your personality. I'm a very straightforward person. I will tell you as it is. Boom, as I'm very blunt, and I keep it moving. But not everybody is like that. And also understand the person. Try to understand where they are coming from too, you know. But if it's really affecting you, I mean, you definitely need to address it. How you address it, I've given you like 3 different ways. You either go heads on, you either find a way to avoid it, or I would also say that try to understand where she's coming from, provided it's nothing that would implicate you. If it's going to implicate you, you should just tell her straight up and please keep your sanity and your and your future. But if it doesn't have any, legal implication or anything, find a way around it.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, Karika. Just one more thing to say to Becky will be, the stress that you're going through, the fact that you're finding it difficult to find help, you're not the only one going through such. So if you go on social and just talk about your own experience, before you know it, you're connecting with other people, right? I've been through that journey before when I didn't have help with 2 little kids, and then I can also feel for you. There are people who are going through it. There are people who have gone through it before. So you get a chance to either learn from other people's experiences or connect with people. Karika met somebody because the person's slippers cut. The person then is giving her business. You can meet somebody because you are being stressed as a mom of little children. And before you know it, it translates into business because that is how people connect with people. We have common issues or common values. Karika, I want to say a big thank you. Tito, please put up the slide on our new community. Karika said networking is a lifestyle. Networking is the exchange of value. 80% mental energy, 20% physical work. See yourself as valuable. For me, extremely important. I am value, and define what that value is. So friends, ladies and gentlemen, today we are introducing to you Techbiz Nation. Woohoo! Yeah. It's the new community for Eco Eye Center. You've asked for it again and again and again. And today we say it is time for it right now. So this community is designed to support you and to fuel your growth. So for startups and for techpreneurs, we're building, this community. We're going to keep it very simple at the beginning and let it live on Telegram. The point is, we want to connect in order to conquer. So when we say conquer, you're conquering the market because we're all here for business. Finally, business is about the exchange of Naira and Kobo, and we want to conquer this market. So that's what our connection is going to be about. We're going to be collaborating for growth. Collaboration is you learn from other people's experiences. You leverage on other people's network. You learn how to negotiate. You give recommendations. You take recommendations. It is going to be a space of the exchange of value. And then build to last. Build to last. Your business cannot and should not be a flash in the pan. It is a business that sustains. It is a business that has longevity. The community will have longevity in order for your own business and you as an entrepreneur to have longevity. Tito, if you can put up the website. So we're talking about your communication, your being open, your collaborating, your speaking up within that community because you have value to add. There's value to add to the next person and there's value to add to their own business. The website is up. You're going to go to ecoeyecenter.com/Techbiz Nation. You can see it on the top of her screen. ecoeyecenter.com/Techbiz Nation. We've run Techbiz series for almost 20 weeks. Now we're creating a nation. So we are citizens of Techbiz Nation. We're going to be supporting each other. We're going to be fueling the growth of our business as individuals also and as our business. If you scroll down a little bit, you can click on become a member. Once you click on become a member, it takes you to the forms. Waiting for the scrolling. I've talked about this. It's connection, it's collaboration, and it's building to last. So in this group, we're going to be networking and connecting with like-minded entrepreneurs. Exchange value. We're going to bring updated information, relevant trends, information that can help you, information that you can take action on. And it's not just raw information. A number of times analysis is required to break it down for you in order to, define your actionable steps that will bring as well. Capacity building sessions. Yes, Techbiz series will continue, but we want to get to a point where it's going to be for members. And then of course, go from bringing more, high level information to bring in depth depth of knowledge and wisdom. Funding and financial opportunities coming from you leveraging Eco Eye Center network and also network of other people that are within the community. But of course, as you may imagine, the center has a really, really broad and deep network, and you have access to that, especially when it comes to financing. But it's not about doling money out, definitely not, because the investor too is looking for value. So it is about the exchange of value. So if you scroll up, Tito, we're just going to click on become a member. The form will come up. You'll submit your form. Normally, there will be, of course, a back check. The admin also is going to do a back check, simply because we need to make sure that people joining the community are going to add value to you. I can't imagine how many times we've talked about value within this conversation, but Karika has explained it in depth, what value is. So for the first month, so from now till October 23, it will be free to join. After that, we're going to define, we're going to share with you the specific dates that will still be there. But for now, everyone who participates within Techbiz series, if you go to this site and you want to join, it will be free for you to join. So Techbiz Nation, very happy to announce this today. It is extremely exciting to be able to fulfill that one request that you have been demanding. Stewart, you have asked me this question again and again and again and again. So today, this is the answer to the question. So welcome to the nation. Karika, I want to say thank you to you, okay? Thank you for your time. Thank you for your passion. Thank you for the energy. And thank you for the depth of the communication. It's just been amazing. I like the style. I really like how you made it engaging as well. I've taken so many notes. You talked about ask for advice, ask for insights, actually deliver insights as well, and recommendation. Make deposits in your social bank account. Why are you mute? Make deposits. It's not just about withdrawals. Techbiz Nation, please quickly in the chat box, please give some positive accolades to Karika. We want to just say thank you. Guys, say thank you. Guys, give Karika feedback. Ordinarily, we do some polls, but no, there's no point for poll today. I'm so excited that we launched Techbiz Nation. I'm so excited that you guide us through this topic on networking and how powerful it is and how the power actually is in our hands, because we are valuable. Thank you, Karika. Your energy is so contagious. Engaging delivery. Thank you, Karika. Thanks plenty for the raw, engaging content. You are amazing. It is insightful. We enjoyed it. Your session was excellent. You are amazing. You are awesome.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Karika. And looking forward to you joining the nation as well, the Techbiz Nation. Looking forward to all of you on the call also joining Techbiz Nation. We will succeed. Enjoy the evening and continue to stay safe. Bye.
Thank you very much.